How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Big Six. Apologies for the delay. We were just waiting to see if someone was going to be deducted points. But alas, we are here. No one was over 10 minutes late, apart from us as a collective to the community. So apologies for that. But yeah, look at the smirk on his face. Just about made it. But yeah, we move. We got SAEED, GRIZZ, TOBS, and Matisse in the building. Steve's not with us tonight, people. Busy. But yeah, he'll be back for Thursday's show. And to
convenient.
It's convenient, but at the same time, that it could be left off the agenda.
No, man, we need to talk about that, man. Like, you know what I mean? Me and Toby,
Foden slander and all that. You know
me and Toby want to talk about that, man. Like,
I mean? It's the reaction of the match.
But nah, it is what it is. He's not here to defend it. So.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Yeah,
that's all right. We can still talk about it if you want to talk about it.
No, I'm just saying, innit? Like, it's like he's adamant that they're back to reclaim the. You know, he's been messaging me saying, "Yeah, the trophy's on rent and this and that." I was like, okay, no problem. But we're known to pay our rent a lot. We might just keep the trophy, man. We don't miss payments, brother. We don't miss payments, and we're very difficult. We're very difficult to what's the word? You know when you
are you planning on squatting,
brother? We're not squatters, brothers. We're owners, brother. We're owners, man. 20 times, you know what I mean? When you've won it the most, you at some point own it, right? I don't know. But anyway,
you might just be partying, man. He's saying there, Chris. You might just be partying, yeah. FIFA and that.
Well, the only bad thing is he fucking bumped into Wayne Lineker, innit? So it's all downhill from now on. That's the only problem, man.
Yeah, that's it. Kiss of death now. Next season.
Kiss of death, man.
You know, the downfall where it began.
That's where it began. You know that meme? It was at this point.
Yeah.
He knew. Liverpool fans, he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Who bumped into him?
When our boy Scott. Only chilling. He's been as soon as the Arsenal game, he flew to Ibiza.
Yeah.
I enjoy, man. Hard work done for the season.
100%.
Cool. I mean, it's not usual we start with the top four stuff, but I think that's probably the most relevant place to start with. And Chelsea and Matisse, unless you stop me if I'm wrong. But I guess that's the most exciting point of this part of the season left. And it's got more exciting after the weekend, Matisse, because red cards, 2-0 loss. Obviously softened by the Newcastle, the Nottingham Forest Leicester game, where Leicester pegged them back, and that kept you in the top 5 for now. So still in your hands, but it was a few minutes away from dropping out of that top 5, and Nottingham Forest only needing a draw in that game week 38 fixture. So how are you feeling about it all? Talk to me. Nico Jackson, what's the saying? Has the roost come home? What's the saying, Grizz? I know you know the saying.
If you want a saying, stop, relax. Look over to Saeed. Saeed, is there a saying that you can fit in there somewhere, brother?
As a chicken come home to roost.
Big.
Yo!
I don't know if it's a chicken, but that is the one.
It is that one.
Big.
Nobody's in the chat, man. Nobody's in the chat.
Fucking hell, he's actually got one right for one.
Big.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Not gonna lie, big.
Come on.
Education.
That's it.
Education.
Big up Saeed.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I knew it'd go to the final day, but the way it's going, it's just gonna be on goal difference or some nonsense, man. Like it's gonna be so nervy. Man United at home, I'm hoping they'll rotate and whatnot, but it's that Nottingham Forest away and Villa go to Old Trafford. Saeed has got it all in his hands once again. Do you know what I mean? He knocks us into this Conference League competition. He sends me to Kazakhstan and all this. And then he's in the Europa League final, potentially cruising against the biggest bottle jobs of all time to get Champions League place once again. And I'm out here grafting for this Champions League, struggling for this Champions League, fighting for this Champions League. He's sitting in 16th, ready to go and get another Champions League qualification. It's nasty work. But yeah, listen, it's weird because and people will laugh, but I'm not really bothered. The performance with 10 men, I'm pretty proud of the performance with 10 men. It was 0-0 with 10 men. And that's crazy because I thought a capitulation was coming. I thought we was going to get smoked after Jackson got sent off. I'm thinking Newcastle away, they're a physical team. They can press you. They can low block you and counter. They got options coming on. I'm thinking, yo, we're going to get absolutely destroyed. But credit to the players, they actually managed to keep it respectful, and they almost got themselves back in the game. It's just when you concede 2 minutes in, you know, you put yourself on the back foot. I don't know what the tactics were before that first goal, and I'll never know. I'll never know, because when you do that, you put yourself in a crazy position. We were poor before the sending off, so I'm not saying that's the reason that we didn't get the result, because we may never have got a result. However, when he gets sent off for some idiocy, some stupidity, you give us no chance of even getting a result, no chance of a comeback, no chance of getting an equalizer. And it was just stupid. It's just naive. It's just immature. It's all of those things that you get from young players that just don't think things through before they do it. But no Chelsea fans expected Jackson to win aerial duels and hold up the ball versus Fabian Schär and Botman. You got to pick your fights, and he didn't pick that one very well. So listen, I think it's still in our hands. I think we just need to win both of our games, and then goal difference will take care of itself. But one more slip up and we're finished, because I think Villa will beat Tottenham at Villa Park on Friday, and I don't trust Man United with my life.
you know when you said the United sneaking through the back door. Just a question before we continue on Chelsea. Would you rather need to beat Tottenham in a final right now to make Champions League, or would you rather be in the position you're in where you got to win the last 2 games against United and Forest to be in the Champions League?
That's a question.
Good question.
Easy.
Good question.
Easy. That's an easy question. I'm taking Tottenham in the final every single day of the week over this position. Every single day of the week. I think we've beaten Ange every single time we played up against him.
Okay.
Plus Maddison's out. I don't know if Kulusevski's going to be okay after what happened on the weekend. I think we beat Tottenham in a final every single day of the week. I'd never question that. So Nottingham Forest away with the thing is, we're very fortunate. We're very lucky. And I remember what you saying before we started going about 2nd to 5th. What does it really matter? I'm in agreement. I think points is a much better way to judge your team's progress than position. You know, this right now, whether we make it or we don't, it's incredibly fortunate. We're very lucky that Nottingham Forest are one of the teams that are not only were playing to help us decide it, but also they've just had a crazy fall off as well. It's like you're drawing at home to Leicester, you're losing at home to Everton, you're losing against Brentford at home. Like, this is, we're kind of fortunate to be in the position we're in at this point, because it could have been worse. And this could have been avoided if we had just beaten Ipswich, if we had just signed or loaned a striker in January, or you know, done certain things to just make it a bit more easy for ourselves. We would have been fine. But we just love drama. We love to make things difficult for ourselves. I still think we can do it, but it doesn't matter if we do it or not. There still needs to be massive reflection on the season, and people need to be accountable upstairs on the way that they've built the team and the position that we're in. Regardless of whether you believe it's more the manager or the players, you have to reflect, because it's not good enough. You can't be going up against Nottingham Forest and Villa for the final place. Villa have played Champions League all season. They're probably dead on their feet. They've had competitive games. Forest are Forest. Why are we here? What are we doing here? Like,
what do you mean, Forest? Wait. Sorry. What do you mean, Forest or Forest?
Forest are overachieving. Chelsea should not be competing with Forest for Champions League spot.
Cool. I'm glad you clarified that.
Forest are a good team, but Forest, you should not be going up against Forest for a Champions League place on the final day. There should not be a shootout at City Ground against Forest for Champions League. That should not be happening. That's crazy work.
So, in fact, you did predict it though, that it would go to the final, like, you know.
Yeah. Only because of our form. The start of the season, my prediction was 4th. Then because of our winter form, I said, "Yo, it's looking like it's going to go to the final day." And yeah, thankfully we're. Kay's saying I sound entitled. If my club didn't spend 1.4 billion, I wouldn't say these things. I'm not entitled. I'm just holding people account. You don't get to spend that kind of money and then be going up against Nottingham Forest on the final day, 4 years into a project, or 3 years into a project.
I'm
not entitled. It's facts.
You said something though.
Go on, you go.
I was going to say, sorry, Grizz. You said something that wasn't true. You said it's still in our hands. It's not in your hands.
It is in our hands. We're 5th right now on goal difference.
Oh,
yeah, the goal difference helps them.
Yeah,
look at you. Look at you. Look at you. You wish. You wish, innit? Yeah, look at you.
Toby, don't worry, man. Don't worry, man. They got no striker, guys. That's 2 games without striker.
They've been without a striker anyway all season, pretty much.
What?
Fuck.
Yo, man, just destroyed Jackson there. But listen, bro,
It's Grizz's time to cook, bro. It's Grizz's time to cook.
Yeah, go on, Grizz.
No, I mean, he had a little purple patch and people started coming for me. Oh my God, you called him Action Jackson. Where's the action? Action Jackson turned into Reaction Jackson. What happened there?
No,
What happened? No, what happened? No, what happened? What happened? Robert,
Get
what
back
happened,
in here,
Robert?
bro.
Robert, what happened? No, not even Matisse, because I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to say, I'm like
Robert,
Matisse's
Robert.
approach. Matisse is what Matisse has said in his segment. Big up to Matisse, because he holding back, and he goes, even if we do achieve Champions League, it was the bare minimum, especially after the start they had. Like people were talking September, October, not him, but certain December, people were talking title charge and stuff. Not charge, but challenge. And people like, oh man, you know what I mean, all of these players and whatnot. But I'm if you get Champions League, I still think it's quite positive.
Yeah, like for Maresca, I think in your debut season as a rookie, I think you deserve to get another season. There's still a lot of question marks over him. There's still a lot of doubt. But for me, I don't really know what people expect from someone so unknown coming into their first campaign. When that hire was made, and that was completely their risk to take, I don't remember many Chelsea fans saying Maresca was the first choice on their list when we needed the manager. But when that manager comes in and you have a summer that we have with Shrewsbury Hall, with João Felix, with with the signings we made, Jorgensen in goal, terrible window. You back it out with a terrible January as well. I'm not talking about money spent. I'm talking about how you spend. I'd rather spend 500 million in these 3 years and sign proper players than spend $1 billion and half of it be on children that you're not necessarily even guaranteed to develop. They could have all sorts of issues, right? It's a crazy time period. So for him as an individual, I think yeah, I'm angry with the way that he dealt with the cups. I feel like that Newcastle away, he's
learning, man. He's learning
for liabilities, but yeah, he's learning, and that's what we signed. That's what the club signed up for.
Everybody learning, man. Everybody learning.
Everybody's learning, bro. Everybody's learning.
Yeah.
Everybody learning.
Everybody's learning.
Some quicker than others. You know what I'm saying? When you reflected though, that Chelsea wanted Champions League football, he's about to get it. But then there's also the dark side of this season. It could end badly for Chelsea. The Conference League and obviously the top 5 and whatnot.
It's still in the balance.
It's still in the balance. It's still not party time. I see a few Chelsea.
There's no party time anyway. There's no party time.
There's no party time.
There's no party time anyway. But let me say this: it doesn't really matter what he does from this point onwards. For me, I'm not gonna have a massive drastic opinion change on him.
Either way,
because I don't think a manager's job, especially in their first Premier League campaign, should be defined on a couple of points. If you're in it for the long run and you really believe in him and you've really done your research, a couple of points here or there shouldn't be the biggest sway between he stays or he goes. And especially when you know the caliber of manager that these directors are willing to go for next, for me, until they've gone, which they won't, but that's my focus, is for them to go. I want Campos as the director, because then I can trust the squad build, then I can trust the transfers, then I can trust his managerial appointment. He could choose to keep him or let him go, whatever. That guy's he's done his dirt in the game. You can see it from Lille, Monaco to PSG. So I would trust him. But yeah, for me, Maresca, whatever happens from this point onwards, I'm not really too focused on him. I think there's so many other things that have happened that have been problematic. I think he's not really relevant to me, and he hasn't been since he came in.
Yeah. What's your targets looking like with him? Has there been rumors about who he wants, what he wants to address? And
we don't sign players for him. We sign players for the club, and I think they have their targets. They should match the manager's philosophy and ethos. If they don't, that's a bit dumb. Do you know what I mean? They should be signing players for him. So when they sign Felix and the manager doesn't use him, when they sign Shrewsbury Hall and the manager doesn't use him, that is red flags, because you should have your players matching up with your recruitment. So whatever happened last summer shouldn't be happening again this summer.
There has to be a connect with your sporting director.
Of course. as there was with
Is
Edu
there?
Arteta, Edwards,
Is
Klopp.
there a relationship?
At the moment, there hasn't been really, because none of the
Okay.
signings last summer have really made a significant impact, apart from maybe Neto. But Neto and Sancho for me haven't made a significant enough impact.
No, not
So
significant.
I wouldn't even say them. I don't think anybody I can think of off the top of my head last summer has made a significant impact or improvement on what we were doing already with the team. Maybe the brightest ones are Estevals and Penders, the potential, but the actual first team players have not made a big enough difference. They've just been squad players, really. So yeah, this window, let's see what they do with him. But I'm not confident with the directors. So let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. But yeah, in terms of signings, Turkish, none of the signings are too. They don't seem to be like, oh, Champions League, we can go crazy with Osimhen or Gyökeres, and then if we don't get it, it's Delap and Ekiteke or whatever. It seems like regardless of what we do qualify for, we're gonna get the same type of.
It's actually mad because Arsenal, Man United, us, and you, maybe Spurs to a certain degree, but they've got Solanke. We're all going for pretty much the same core of 5
Similar,
strikers. Yeah, the names are all probably about the same. Sesko, Delap, Osimhen, Cunha,
Osimhen.
Yeah, sorry, my brother. Good to see you're awake. Ekiteke, all the names are about the same. So I think it's a wild west for strikers, man. I don't know what you guys think. It's all roughly about the same. Isak's out of the picture for everyone, so forget Isak. Yeah, and then after that, it's that next level of strikers that we're all in the hunt for because we all need a striker.
Do you know what it is, bro?
All you can believe.
Delap, Ekiteke, and who is the other brother? Sesko.
Oh,
all three of those for me are second choice strikers to the main man.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't trust a Premier League campaign with those 3 young strikers that are still developing, still need to improve, whether it's box movement, whether it's finishing, whatever. But then these seem to be the players we're going for, and I feel like we've got very lucky with the way that we've moved because Arsenal have signed Mikel Merino, Havertz, Calafiori, because Liverpool have signed Chiesa, because Man City have signed Gundogan, because Man United signed Højlund and Xerxes. If the other big clubs were signing top players like Rodrigo, or they were signing top players like
everyone would follow suit. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say.
Not even necessarily follow suit, but you would look at the transfer targets that your club are going for and think, what the fuck are we doing? Because now the level is gone up. So imagine now your title contenders are Gyökeres, Osimhen at Arsenal, Liverpool, Isak, Haaland, and you're there with Liam Delap. It's not so funny, is it, anymore? Now you're thinking, yo, what the fuck's going on? So everybody's ready to take in these targets, not knowing what their rivals are going to do in the window. These strikers are available. So at least go and get the best one you could possibly get, so you don't leave the window thinking, rah, we're off the pace. And that's what we sound like we're ready to risk doing. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I seen the news today. Delap is obviously linked with Man United. He's obviously been linked with Chelsea. I think Man United and Chelsea should not be touching any young strikers. Well, I say young, any developing strikers with a barge pole. They need to be going for established strikers, guys who are coming into this team ready to carry the expectation to score goals. That's been missing. That's been missing at Chelsea for 2 seasons.
Though, man.
What's that?
Easier said than done.
I was just going to say,
it is, though. I don't think it is.
We literally just said, apart from Isak and Alvarez, Osimhen, I reckon there's 3 strikers in world football that are 30 right now. Sorry, when I mean 30, you're talking 20 goals. Isak, Alvarez, and Osimhen.
Alvarez isn't a 20.
Okay, Alvarez third.
Gyökeres is above. Gyökeres is in that.
Yeah, that's true. Is Gyökeres 30?
I know people have their doubt. I know people have their doubts over Gyökeres, but what type of mentality? Look, what type of mental state are you bringing in terms of? Is that person mentally ready to lead your team? Gyökeres, for me, is mentally ready to lead the team. We could talk about systems. We could talk about aerial ability or whether or not he's going to deliver the goods because the stats are crazy. Will it drop off? It probably will. But at least you're signing a grown-ass man who mentally should be able to handle the pressure now because he's won a title. When you bring in these 20, 21-year-olds, you're gambling with their mentality. Look at Jackson getting sent off. Do you know what I mean?
And
Like,
you know what as well, yeah, with Gyökeres, right? Like, of course, there are the
It's
there are the
27 in
potential-
June as well, Gyökeres.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, there are of course the doubts on like, oh, the league. It's not a good barometer of like a certain striker. But when you actually, it's got to a point now where he's clapping so many goals. And the variety of goals that he's clapping, it's got to a point now where it's like you have to take a punt on him. Honestly, at this point, you have to take a punt on him. And when you look at the price as well, before it's a bit eye-watering if you're like, okay, 88 million, 90 million, that's a lot. But when you're looking at the prices that have been quoted, I'm seeing that he could go for maybe 68, 70 million. Really, for a club like Chelsea, for a club like Man United, for a club like Arsenal, you have enough change where you can make that gamble, if you want to call it a gamble. And when you look at how both teams play, Chelsea create a lot of chances. They don't have someone who can tuck. Arsenal, bruv, they've been telling us for how many days about, we had 5 XG against PSG. We had 3 XG against Man United when we got dumped at FA Cup. Arsenal and Mourinho has proven that Arsenal don't need, of course, the preference is to get like a world-class striker, but they just need a good striker, a good certified striker who's going to come in and bag the goals. In these systems, it's more about how the teams play as well as the striker's quality. A striker like Gyökeres, strikers like Osimhen, they can clap goals at Arsenal. They can clap goals at Chelsea as well. So I don't know, man. I think
even if these clubs looked at like, again, this is the level below, but even players like Mateta or Mbeumo, if they couldn't get these top strikers, that would be better, in my opinion, than getting the young striker. Just to add a bit of a differential. Just to add a little bit of a balance.
Do you know why it wouldn't though? It wouldn't if you get the right young striker, because whilst I get the whole Mbeumo and whoever else you just said thing, because they're more ready made. Let's say you get Mbeumo for the next 2 years, yeah, or let's say Sesko gets Man United gets Sesko for the next 2 years. The potential that Sesko in 2 years is the striker that people claim he's going to be. Whereas we know what's going to happen to Mbeumo in a couple of years, where we know
he's only 20. Mbeumo is only 25.
He's 25, yeah.
But I mean his ceiling. His ceiling is like we know his ceiling already in terms of he's a quality player, but he's a consistent player. But in attack, you need like a game changer. Whether that's now or whether that's in the coming years, I think it's still wise to invest in it. So I wouldn't say Mbeumo type or that type. I'd say bringing Mbeumo in and still invest maybe in a Delap or a young striker that in a year other clubs are looking back and saying, "Hey, that investment was class because they've got their striker for 8 years." Yeah,
I mean, when Haaland would suggest that, you know what, man, that investment could be anything, man.
But Haaland bagged 9 goals in Serie A, and he looked a good striker in Serie A, but he wasn't. He looked good, but he wasn't pulling up trees. Like Sesko, listen, he's rough around the edges. Like, I agree with Matisse. He's not a striker who's going to come in and shoulder that burden to score loads of goals. But if you're in Arsenal's position, for example, not Man United, Arsenal's position, for example, you should be looking to go out and sign a Sesko alongside like a Osimhen or Gyökeres. You should be.
You know they're not going to do that, though. They're not going to do that.
But they should. We say they're not going to do that, but they spent 65 million. I am being realistic. They spent 65 million on Kai Havertz. If you can spend 65 million on Kai Havertz, anything is possible.
Okay, but when you're talking about bringing in 2 strikers at Arsenal, Mikel Merino has just established himself as better as up front than a midfielder. When he's in midfield, like you saw on the weekend, he's invisible. Havertz is on 200, nearly 300k a week. He's a striker. Jesus is injured, so he's not passing the medical. Where's the space for one addition and then the second?
Jesus has to be sold this summer.
Who's buying him? He's injured. You can't sell an injured player.
There'll be a sale.
Nah, he's injured for half a year. He ain't going nowhere.
You can't sell someone that's injured.
He's finished. Oh my days.
So Arsenal, if they get one striker, for me,
there is space though
on the left wing.
No, but there's space in terms of the squad because we was 3 players light in terms of squad submission at the start of the season. And we all know where we was light in attack. So really, there's space for 3 players to come in.
I just don't know on the wages, because I think I've said this before, but when you're paying Jesus 250 and Havertz
100%,
the wages for whoever comes in is gonna be crazy. They're gonna be like, yo, I should be making minimum like 30% more than these guys.
That much. I swear, when I found out, Havertz was on that, I had to double check. I was like, what? They offered him that?
Yeah,
And that's where, you know, the them strikers will be looking at that thinking, you know what, we want to bring them. But, bro, it's difficult, man. I think for me, if we get rid of Højlund, we should really bring in two. But I just know the club ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate, but it should happen, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, we should be bringing in Dilap and maybe a Mateta. I think people are sleeping on Mateta, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it time to make a public apology about Mateta, and he's better than what I give him credit for? Because
probably,
yeah, you do.
We're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm humble enough. I'm
not talking about you being humble. I'm saying Mateta, he's actually a good striker.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe because I saw him a couple of times live. I always try to catch the Liverpool games at Palace. So because it's down the road, isn't it? It's London, isn't it? And you know what? The last couple of times I saw him live, I thought, yo, this guy is absolute pony. But then I think to myself, maybe Liverpool made him look like pony. You know what I mean? On the given day, and he's come back strong. I'm not gonna lie. He's had a very undercover good season. So I don't know what you lot think, man, but I think Mateta.
What are you trying to say? That Liverpool game is the one that, you know.
No, I'm just saying. Is there anyone that would take a punt on him? And I don't want this ain't a Toby thing, but Spurs. I'm looking at Spurs. Would you take?
I don't think we can afford it.
Spurs.
I don't think.
Wow.
Why would he join Spurs?
Oh, come on, man. It's the next level, isn't it?
Oh, no, I don't think we can afford him. I think he's a good striker. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, 40 million, bro. Cost 40 million.
How much is he?
40 million. That's what
he's got 1 year left on his deal after this summer.
1 year. 1 year left. Oh, so then he's definitely 30 mil, man.
I'd consider it, you know. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd consider it genuinely. He's a good striker. Yeah. He's a good striker. I'm sorry, he is. He's got tech. He's got strength.
Anyone else taking him?
I would take him as a backup. I'll take him as a backup.
Yeah, backup.
I have him in rotation.
I'm not taking him.
He starts at Liverpool.
If he was the first person off the bench for the starter, I would take him.
Turn off your camera and go away.
He does start at Liverpool. Tell me I'm lying. He starts at Liverpool.
Yeah, he does start at Liverpool. Yeah.
Right now, who's benching him? Who's benching him right now?
I'm not benching anyone out of the front three that started yesterday. I'm not benching any of them from Mateta. Get your facts and heads and attitudes.
Sorry, guys.
Sort your attitudes out. Sort your attitudes.
Gackers.
Those three that played yesterday, I'm not benching for Mateta.
No problem. So I've got an attitude for making a fair statement. But you can say anything you want. I don't accuse you of having an attitude.
No, you got an attitude problem.
I don't have an attitude problem.
I got attitude. You got an attitude problem.
I just stated the fact. Who's performed better this season? Mateta or Jota the Slotter? Mateta.
Did I mention Jota?
Gackers.
So he's saying Gakpo, Diaz, Salah.
I'm not benching them from Mateta.
And Mateta's coming off the bench as a plan B.
Nobody, Matisse.
But we're all saying that. So hold on. What did you say? Hold on.
I want him as a plan B.
Right. And SAEED said, yeah, I'll take him as a plan B. But you
no, plan A.
SAEED's plan A. You don't get to be
plan A. Yeah, listen, don't.
Turkish. Yeah, these fuckers want to make him a plan A for the league champions.
But it's not about league champions. Don't do that.
Matisse is saying plan A. Matisse is saying plan A when this guy dead ass is a better striker than Jackson. Dead ass.
No, this is what you're not understanding.
Then how can he be better?
Hold on. I'm not going into the window as Mateta as my top target. So I'm saying you get an
target right now.
No, you get an Osman and then you get a Mateta as your backup. Yes,
so
listen, maybe you lot don't take me seriously, but I want to win the league next year.
No, answer my question.
The chat will call me deluded. That's my mentality. Jackson, listen, if we bring in two strikers,
hey, just
hold on. Hold on, listen.
Create that meme, you know.
Listen. If we bring in two strikers, I'm trying to get Rodrigo, bro. So I want Jackson. Jackson will be
to be easy, bro.
No, guys.
Jackson will be finished. Jackson will be finished. I want Osman. I want Rodrigo. I want Mateta. And then that's it. I'm
guys. He can't do this. He's not allowed to do this. Sorry. Have you just heard what he said? He said even if Chelsea go out and sign two strikers, he's still not keeping Jackson. He's getting Rodrigo. So
No, because you won't get enough.
No. You're not allowed to do this. You can't do this.
You won't get enough minutes.
You can't do this, brother.
Aye.
You won't get enough minutes.
You're right, man. He's not even in the Champions. Hold on, madam. 1 second. He's not even in the Champions League, yeah, and he's already talking about Rodrigo. How dare you let this guy get away with this? Man's on FIFA. Have you been playing FIFA career mode?
I have. Say so. I have.
No, but I like his attitude. He wants his things are not in the mud. Like
I'm
standards.
hungry, brother. I'm hungry, bro. I'm setting standards.
Don't say Stanton, but Grizz, why are you giving him an out? I don't like.
Yeah, that's not
this guy.
What's
This Grizz guy, it's the same. Matisse, he's doing the same shit that he was doing yesterday, giving people out. Why are you giving him an out, bro? He's white about Jackson.
I don't want to send people to jail. I don't want to send
people
people to jail. I'd rather let them do community service and get out of it. I want to give them a chance.
No,
I want to give him a chance.
Don't give him a chance. He doesn't deserve it.
I don't want to sentence you, look. I want to give you a chance, and I like his attitude. He gets.
I want to win shit, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of asking other people to do shit for me. I want to win shit, bro. If we get this window spot on, there's no reason why Chelsea fans shouldn't have the mentality at the start of next season. Let's try and win the title. Let's go for the title. If you don't win the title, then and you challenge, no problem. But why are we 4 years into a project where we spent over £1 billion and we're meant to have one of the best young teams in the world? Why are we not talking about trying to challenge for a title? What are we doing here? That's what I'm thinking about. Is trying to challenge for a title. I want to do a title thing. If we can be second and be in the, everybody's here pressuring me. You're in the race. You're in the race.
It's about the journey,
so build on that. Then no, it's not. No, I don't know what journey you're on.
You gotta do journeys, man.
No, you're on a different journey. You're on a different journey.
Do step by step. Learn like the phases and then go down that route.
No.
You can't just jump from 6th or 5th to 1st. Come on, man.
No. Because the years pass by fast. If you don't start thinking about trying to win a title, next thing you know, it's been 5 years. It's nearly 10 years since we last won the last one. 10 years. Nah, bruv.
For me, you need a top goalkeeper. You need to get rid of that Sanchez then, first of all. I don't know that Sanchez, brother. He needs to go. I still think you need to maybe get a centre back for me, top centre back. And I mean, like
8 centre backs, man. It's just
no. They need a top one alongside Colwell for me. If you get
they're all shit.
No, he's all right. He's not shit, man. I think he's
Colwell's not shit. You wanted Colwell.
No. I'm saying the rest of them.
When he doesn't want him, he's shitting it. I mean, no, it's like he knows I lick Liverpool. He's rubbish.
I didn't say Colwell. I said the rest of them are shit. Colwell's a decent one.
Okay. So you get one experience with him. I think for me, Santos comes into that position there. So midfield, you're all right. And then maybe a winger and then a top level striker. So if you can get that spine there, I think then you maybe might be cooking. But listen, I don't know. You might have still flirting around.
Wait, hold on. What they're cooking, if they get what you said, are you suddenly jumping on the Chelsea bandwagon?
I'm not on the
Toby.
If they get them, because right now what they're doing is they're getting potentials. Potential ain't gonna work, yeah. And they're getting. Let's be honest, Neto ain't good enough. Sancho,
mid.
If they get, I mean, serious. When I'm like, yo, they got that player there. Say no more. If they do that, and you look at it, you think, right, that's when we can talk. But until then, and also Maresca as well. I'm not lying to you. I don't think Maresca is going to lead you to a title. If I'm being true honest with you, so that there has to be gone.
I would love to be able to say, you got the players, so do it. And if you can't do it, then problems. But you can't even judge him on a title-winning campaign when you're doing up business like we've done it in the last couple of transfer windows. You can't.
Cole Palmer as well.
The only reason why I'm saying this is because you have to smell blood. Man City, GRIZZ has said, need 6-7 players, rebuild, goalkeepers changing, right back, left back, centre mid, wing, striker, backup for Haaland. Arsenal, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be afraid of Arsenal. You should be trying to get to the title before Arsenal do, right? Because are they not in a little bit of, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you're further away than them, though.
I know, but I don't care. That's what you have to understand. It doesn't matter if we're further away. Premier League don't work like that. Premier League don't work like that. Premier League don't work like that. You can be further away 1 year. 1 year they're doing top 4 battle with you. You think you're neck and neck. Next year they leave you behind their entire race. And look where you are. There was a moment though.
You didn't win for how long? Like was it December? Like how long did you not win? Like there was a win.
Too long, brother.
Yeah, that right there. That's a lot to kind of sort out.
Matisse's attitude is go for the stars, and then if you like fall like where I fell when my skydive, it's still something in it, but aim for the stars. That's what he's saying. Fair play, man. I like your attitude. I wish some others had your attitude.
If we're not aiming for the title, you're
but he's deluded. But he's deluded, though.
Okay, wait, sorry. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying he's deluded, though. I'm saying he's deluded.
He's got a blank checkbook. They just buy it. They just spend it on.
I don't think they have. I don't think they have.
We don't. But
they got work now, Tobes. They got work now. They got work.
We had before. We don't now. But if you're not aiming for the title, you're aiming for Champions League qualification, right? It's either one or the other.
They got work.
There's nothing in between, right? So that's it. I'm not aiming for Champions League qualification again next season. Why would I do that? So
win some cups, man.
Amen.
I don't believe in that anymore.
No, I want to win some. I'll take anything, brother. I'm desperate.
It's been it's been 8 years since Chelsea won the league. Like it's you know what I mean. It's the time's going, man. It's you know what I mean. It could be 10 soon, and then bang, it's crazy. So yeah, they need to start winning stuff. But I don't know, Maresca. I don't know if he's a guy. I can't lie, man. Yeah. Listen. I know Slot's proven that, you know what, you don't have to be there that long, but I don't know, it's just a bit stubborn. I'm not sure about him tactically, to be fair, but let's see. I mean, it's interesting, man. Chelsea win the league next year. That anyone who's gonna, if anyone bets, you know what I mean, don't know how much that
don't bet that.
Yeah, that's it. Don't do that.
Yeah, if anyone bets, don't bet. Don't do that.
Yeah. After all that GRIZZ lighting, Matisse is deluded.
Like, no, but you know what it is though.
Chelsea ain't coming close.
I don't mind. I'd rather talk like that. I'd rather talk like that than
City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
But I get why he's doing that, because now it's like
if the window
become a joke though.
It's like Turkish. When the window closes, you have confirmation on what you're really capable of, and that's when you can start to narrow down your options. But I'm not even in the window yet. I'm not gonna aim for anything less than the best. If these men don't want to do the best, then I'll bring it down. But until then, I'm ready for the best, bro.
Fair.
I think he's starting to see that, he's it's the word, man. I think he's starting to see there's an opportunity. He's an opportunist, Matisse. He's starting to see certain man haven't. Yeah, no. I'm saying,
why you want him in it?
Of course, I want him, bro.
Certain man are not winning. So he's like, let me just find my way down there, man. These men are not serious. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Let me do some super chats on Chelsea. SFA earlier with this one saying Matisse spent all that time defending his boyfriend Jackson. Leave the abusive relationship, bro. Tobes is cheeky as well because Tobes used to defend Jackson with him, and now he's just
I don't think he should sell Jackson. He's not.
But why are you? Earlier you wanted to rip him about Jackson.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, Turkish. Exactly. I wanted to rip him because he's made a lot of statements that I don't agree with. But the one thing I do agree with is I don't think Jackson is crap. I just don't think he's that guy. But if you had him in rotation, if you had his 14 or 15 goals in rotation, if he was the guy that was playing in the European games, God willing, they play Europa League football next season, and he comes in rotation, you can have your big boy striker that can get you through the majority of the season, and you can have Jackson to supplement him. In the end of the day, it's up to Chelsea. Like if they wanna cut their losses, they can probably make a nice bit of change off Jackson, and they can go and get the two strikers that Matisse wants. But in all honesty, I think they're probably better off just focusing on one main striker. And if you're gonna upgrade your other attacking positions, upgrade your flanks.
Do you know what I would say? It depends.
Would you take Jackson?
Oh my God.
As backup, I wouldn't mind Jackson as backup. Genuinely, I actually wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
See, that's not very nice to hear, is it? That your starting striker would be okay as a backup for 17th place
for Spurs.
Yeah,
so rotation.
Rotation.
Are we trying to make logical sense of what's being said today? I just want to ask all of you lot. I just want to ask all of you.
He's getting hurt because I said Mateta starts over Luis Diaz up front. He does.
He's hurt.
Cry more.
Yeah, I'm fucking hurt.
Do you know what, Tobes? That also depends. That also depends on the group of wingers at your club. Right now, the group of wingers I have is Madueke, Neto, Sancho, and Mudryk. There's not enough goals in that quadruple for me to not necessarily have to think about getting two gunmen up front. Not one, because if one gets injured, you're screwed. So you need potentially two gunmen. So Jackson is a player that is probably suited to having goal-scoring wingers, and then you don't look at him for goals as much. So it all depends on how you build the attack. That's how I see it.
Big
Bro,
up
look
Aki, True Blue. Big up panel. Selton Kunku Longu, or however the hell you say his name. Bring Ossie and Wisa in the Denver Bar Eto role, plan B. Plus keep Jackson, use him as an impact sub. Even that's a force for me. What kind of impact you trying to have? But say less says saw Sanchez in a TV commercial for a bank this weekend and had a real laugh. Is he doing bank commercials now? Yeah. DHL, Turkish. No, I put the super chat up, but to reiterate, Calafiori and Kivio are better than all of Chelsea's centre backs. That came in from someone else, but one of the mods accidentally deleted it. It can happen. This one from a member, Dar says, which Big Six club had the better summer window? Also, SAEED, if United lose the final, remember you're saying there's tunnel at the end of the light. I mean, the Big Six, in my opinion, Liverpool had the best window. One, because they barely spent and they won the league, and two, because out of all the players I think the rest of us bought, there isn't one outstanding candidate that I can think of from City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, or United that really deserves a shout. So I think the
really
best
win the transfer window without
well, Nate, unless I'm thinking, you know, if we're talking Big Six
No,
clubs here.
you're right, Turkish man. We shouldn't praise us when they've won the league without doing anything. So it's Liverpool.
Yeah,
That's mad.
Facts.
Yeah.
The less you spend, the more you win, the better.
The more you win, yeah. So it's Liverpool.
100%. Sometimes less is more.
Less is, yeah.
Sometimes don't do anything.
Don't go anywhere.
Something's happened to my camera, so let me sort this out, man. Let me sort this out. Something's happened to my camera.
Some have been good though.
All of us basically did pointless paperwork. That's what we did.
I prefer it this way, Turkish. Buzz off, man.
We all did pointless paperwork. That's basically what happened. And
You know, you TOBS, yeah, you shouldn't talk too much, you know.
Oh, what? You're gonna out me? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna out me?
No, I'll save that one for another day. But you was actually 9 minutes late to the stream, and no one else noticed. But as soon as the stream started, you was away for 3 minutes. 9 plus 3 is 12.
Oh, you know what? Do you know what I'm gonna say? Do you know what I'm gonna say to that? You're a finesser anyway, bro. It doesn't matter. I could have won this by 5 points. You would have found a way to cheat me out of my bread. So you know what? At this point, I don't even care. Deduct points if you want to deduct points. I don't care. You're Ginnels.
Yeah,
you are Ginnels.
Turkish,
you're
do it.
Ginnels.
How much is that, by the way? How much is that points?
1 point in it or 3 points?
Yeah, take it out. Take that.
He said he'll take that.
Take that.
No, you got done dirty last week, so you're right to no hold
I'm
yeah.
I'm on some
all guns
demon
blazing.
time.
All guns
I'm on
blazing.
demon time, bro.
Yeah. Saeed,
Hey, aren't you a good Muslim boy and you're saying you're on demon time?
I mean, like I said, you know, I'm on smoke. Basically. That way.
Bruv, his team's known as the
His
team's known as the Red Devils, man. Come on, man.
Let me, you know what? Let me actually show you like the table now, because I can't lie.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't want to look
It's tight.
at it.
It's very tight.
The Matisse deduction, yeah, of 6 points, and the Saeed. Look what it's done for the table. Let me just show people what the table's saying.
Oh,
That's mental. That's mental.
Oh,
Yeah, man. The correct
look
score.
who's bottom.
This is
That goal
crazy.
difference- You know what, though, man? That goal difference should count for a lot, you know. So correct scores should be goal difference, guys.
It is,
So,
bro.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
That's
do
why
that.
you're top. That's why you're top now. If it finished today, you win.
Yeah, man.
That's mad, though. Steve could actually win, you know. That's crazy.
Bruv, Steve's 3 points behind, bro. It's mad.
yeah,
crazy.
man. This is
So you're saying if I get 2 correct scores, and if
But
Steve's
you-
in
I
it,
don't do
Grizz
this.
is trying to win as well. He's 9 points
and
off.
if Steve's in it, I'm joking.
Hey,
I'm joking.
bro, the title
Listen,
race is on. The relegation is on. Forfeit is on. Everything is on.
You know what I mean? Premier League title race hype, man.
I lie. Prediction title race. That's what it's about. But don't worry, Said. I'm gonna backdate your trophies as well, because that was always the idea. So anyone, you've won a couple. TOBS has won one, so I'm gonna sort out little trophies so you've got them on deck as well.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Are you gonna compensate me as well?
Well, no one cares, man.
I've got this super chat here from Big Boy Blue,
Oh, so you just
and he says,
no. Are you gonna answer my question, brother? Are you gonna compensate me?
Broski, come on, man. Love for the love, man.
Foul. So foul.
He's a nasty guy, man. He's a nasty guy, bro.
Hey, Big Boy Blue says Maresca's attacking philosophy is crossing to shorties or squaring the ball. He's allergic to going down the middle, and these players can't shoot for shit. We're not winning any leagues with him. Yeah, there is doubts about him for sure. For sure. Cool. Let's keep it moving, people. One word. I mean, yes or no? You making Champions League?
May as well say yes, but
No. Can we start that again? I don't want the clip at the end of the season to be may as well say yes. Are you making Champions League, Matisse, by any chance?
It's with God.
No, I don't want the clip to say with God either. Matisse, Armani, Broderick, yeah? Are you making Champions League football?
What is it? Sky Sports? What's going on right now?
I need to know because you've been very bouncy in the last couple of weeks, and I've been noting things down.
Government name on Sky
noting
Sports.
things down.
God damn. Yeah.
That's a shit clip again, bro. I'm gonna come back to this later.
Yeah.
Coming back to this later.
Yeah. We got it.
Yeah. All of that.
We got
it. Cool. Let's move. I mean, Arsenal Liverpool felt like a pre-season game. Goals, decent game for the neutral, I guess. Chances and whatnot, but didn't really mean much, obviously, considering Liverpool have already secured the league title. But yeah, well, I mean, should we circle back? Forget circling back because we'll touch in on Steve and the whole top 5 stuff after. I don't think they're in much doubt of their position anyway, regardless of the draw. GRIZZ, Liverpool. I mean, all the news and the fucking reaction has been more about the Liverpool, the fans booing Trent more so than anything. I mean, has it taken anything away for you in terms of the reaction to it? I see a few Liverpool fans kind of, down about the fact that more people are talking about that than you lot winning your 20th title.
I'm ahead of the game. That kind of thing. I already foresee it. The deflection tactics, the cold PM, the whole PM, the talk about something that's existed in all of our football clubs since the start of time. It's like Liverpool invented booing players. Liverpool are the only club that have ever booed their own player. It's like no other club has ever done it before. Suddenly it's a thing. Disgraceful. We're hearing headlines. We're hearing ex-players and big personalities in the social media world saying, this is unbelievable. Whatever, man. I don't give a shit. I'm not a booer, personally. I wouldn't have booed him, personally. But I can understand. And we spoke about this last week when I said people will take it differently. Different people will react differently. And it is what it is, man. Some people feel obliged to boo. Fair enough. I would personally think about it because it affects the team. And apparently we were watching the game, but we were having our own joke and a laugh, and we didn't have the sound on. But apparently it was quite loud in terms of every touch. That's unnecessary, in my opinion. I'm not policing Liverpool fans' opinions and thoughts. Each to their own. How you want to react, how you want to treat him from now on, or there's only 2 games left or whatever. Me personally, I wouldn't sing his song, but I'll definitely not boo him, man. I'm not about that life, man. I'm a grown-up man. And he's made a call. But I can understand it if someone feels that strongly about him. Because you've got to remember the backstory of this. People are only seeing, what he's allowed to do what he wants. And I've told you 6 million times, he's allowed to do what he wants. It's his career, it's his life, it's his family. He can do what he wants. But he is a local lad that knows what it means. So he will have to face the consequences in terms of fans' reaction. Not big consequences like, what he's done is criminal, but he'll have to face consequences. And if the consequences are a bit of booing, then so what? He don't give a shit. Do you really guys think Trent Alexander-Arnold ultimately cares about boos, whatever? He knows he's tarnished his reputation and his legacy overall. So that's where I'm at.
I think he cares. I think he'll care.
Definitely. Slightly.
No, I think he cares, man.
No, because if he cared that much, he wouldn't have said, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to play. I think I have more chance of winning more trophies and Ballon d'Or. I don't want to be at my club that I said I want to spend the rest of my life at. So if he cared that much, he wouldn't have moved from the club that he said only 2 years.
Sorry, that's a ridiculous statement. What do you mean if he cared that much, he wouldn't move? It's Real Madrid.
If he cared that much, yeah,
That's
and
a
it's
ridiculous
Liverpool.
statement.
He's born and bred.
So you're saying the only way he can show that he cares that much is by staying at
No, I
Liverpool.
didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
What are
No,
you
I
saying
didn't say that. I said if he cared that much, of course he cares. I agree with your initial statement, what you lot just said. Listen to what I said though in response. I said, of course he cares. I admit he doesn't want to be booed, of course, but I don't think he cares enough to, for example, for it to change his mind. Oh shit, they're booing me. This is too much. I've got to change my mind. That's what I'm trying to say. He don't care that much.
But come on, Grizz. Like, it's not gonna be enough to change his mind. It's more the fact that like surely he would have been shocked by that reaction because it's like raw.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
You don't think so? The People's Club who never boo a player and
No, it's not about that.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Not. It's not. We've booed loads of players before in our history, man.
People, you don't even boo Nunes, and Nunes is missing sitters every week, but you boo Trent because
people think we boo Ibu because we're saying Ibu. So we do boo players. But look, as I said, you won't understand the emotions of certain fan base, certain locals, unless you're a local yourself. And I'm not a local, so people can criticize me. Grizz, you're not a Scouser. You're not from the town. You don't know what it's like. And I have to admit, I don't. So therefore, but I can't, on the other hand, criticize the locals or being a Scouser and saying, oh, the sense of betrayal. Do you get it? So I'm just saying in the middle, you have to appreciate both sides. I don't think it's a shock to him. I think he knows. And especially, this is the key point, guys. Just let me finish with this because it's not a big talking point in my eyes. This is the key point. Most of the anger and resentment is about the way he's done it on purpose and planned it from 2 years out. There's SAEED, you're nodding your head. There's admittance that Real Madrid have been talking to him for 2.5 years. So all this about I want to keep it private, is because he doesn't want to face the music in public. And that's where the anger and frustration and resentment comes from. If he said, I don't want to come or be open about it, no problem. But he's undercover been talking to them for 2.5 years, guys. All smiles, being at his boyhood, love of his club. Think about it.
But you know when this whole narrative about talking behind, I mean, it comes across worse when you describe it like that. Not that you're describing it wrong. It sounds like, you know, a devoted husband of 25 years is cheating behind his missus.
But it is that. You got no intention.
But that entails when you talk about it more often than not entails phone conversations, text messages
100%.
behind the scenes. Whereas with the Real thing, he probably got a heads up that if you see out your contract, you can come to us. I don't think after that he was, you know, like really.
But ultimately, if you read the Reliable and Athletic, you'd like to think the Athletic are as reliable as they get in this day and age. If you read as in this day and age. If you read it, they have been in constant contact with him for 2.5 years, guys. And at the same time, we've offered him 4 contracts. Do you not get why some sections of the fan base will be frustrated?
No, I get it. I get it.
I get it.
Are you not seriously being that naive and thinking, no.
I'm just more on Trent's.
Get it?
That's not the point.
It's been calculated and whatnot. I don't agree with that.
That's not the point.
It's 100% calculated. It's 100% calculated.
It's his career. It's his career, though.
Isn't everything calculated?
Saeed, I don't resent him for that, though. I'm thinking, you're allowed to calculate your career. But what I'm saying is, don't think it's going to be a bed of roses, though. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But Grizz, there's a difference between bed of roses and booing him. I agree. Booing his every touch, sending him horrific abuse under his post when he's saying he's leaving. Like nobody. At least I don't know anyone who's expecting Liverpool fans to just send him off on a bed of roses.
You're being disingenuous by making out Liverpool are angels. We're not. Every fan base has dickheads. Every fan base has a section of fans that are going to take it too far.
I'm not saying that it's an exclusive.
But then I agree with you. There's not a bed of roses, and there's a limit to abuse. I'm in the middle ground.
Yeah, the thing is for me, if his level of performance has dropped in them 2 years because he knew he was going to Real Madrid, then I think people can get on him and say, this cunt, he's just fucking sat here, he's taking the dough, he's waiting for his contract to run out. But he has played relatively well for Liverpool the last couple of years. I think what hurts the Liverpool fans, the local ones, the most is that he's gone on a free transfer. That's what kills everyone. And it will do because he's your local lad. You look up to him. You think maybe if he was going to go to Madrid, maybe he would have come out 2 years ago and gone, look, my eyes are on Madrid. I'm going to run my contract out or you sell me. You know what I mean? Liverpool could have sold him last couple of windows, but didn't. You know what I mean? I know he would have got nothing.
The reason why,
Steve,
the reason why we couldn't sold him, or we couldn't have, is because he wasn't committing either way, Steve. And that's what adds to the frustration. He kept saying, and we fell for it. Oh, he's a local lad. He ain't going anywhere. He'll sign. He'll sign. He will sign. So it is naivety. 100%.
But he hasn't down tools, has he?
We're forgetting Liverpool the last few years have not been anywhere near the title, looking like they're going to win the league. This season's come out of the blue. It's probably shocked him. He's probably expecting Slot to come in, a transitional season, and then he can look at everyone and go, look, I'm going to Real Madrid. It's not working here with Arnie Slot. I'm going to just go into the... And everyone would have gone, well, fair enough. Yeah, we're still building. He's going to Real Madrid. Because Liverpool have won the league, Virgil signed, Mo signed. It's like they're saying all the right things. There's no better place in Europe at the minute to play your football. And I mean, Liverpool are winning the leagues. Real Madrid at the minute,
come out.
The manager, they're dropping off. So it looks like, hold on, I mean, that's a mad move. We know Real Madrid are going to go into a new era now. They're going to blast players. They're going to get these. We know that's coming. But at the end of the day, I've said it before, I'd be upset as a Liverpool fan because he was one of our own. But in the position he plays in the team and the part of the team, the cog in the team, I think you can replace that easy. Mo, Virgil were the ones that drops you down a peg, in my opinion. You lose Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, you drop down a peg. You lose Trent, but keep them two. I'd be looking at it and saying, you know what, we're happy.
Shall I tell you ultimately what I'm the most disappointed in? I'm gonna, and this is gonna sound cringe or whatever you don't want to fucking call it in this day and age, yeah. I'm actually gonna miss him playing football, watching him live. Like, I know his deficiency weak, and I agree with you, Steve. 100% agree with you in terms of out of the positions and out of the players and out of the roles, he's the easily replaced, yeah, or not easily replaced, but we can move on and evolve. But I tell you what, though, watching him live and play those passes and break those lines with those passes, because I appreciate. Remember how many times I used to say it's normalized. His passing is normalized. People don't talk about it, but the way he breaks lines with his passes, and of course, never mind the assists. Even yesterday, his 20-minute spell, I said, "No, check that pass out. Check that pass out." We're gonna miss that, man. But it is what it is. I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay. You guys know I rate Conor Bradley highly, and with no doubt bringing in a right back as well.
You live with what's this player?
Frimpong, yeah. So
is he the answer? To be honest, is he the answer for you? Like,
I don't know, Saeed. He's a very attacking.
You got to trust the manager, man. You got to trust him.
Yeah, he's a very attacking. Steve knows more about him than me because he was at Man City's books. I didn't follow him at Celtic. I vaguely followed him at Leverkusen, but by all accounts, he's a flying winger. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much
he's more of a wing back, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Wing back, yeah.
But in the modern day and age, that's what it's about, right? Like when Robertson and Trent first started off, they were effing wingers, right? Like under Klopp, they were wingers, man. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know who the answer is. I'm very okay with Conor Bradley starting right back, but we 100% need someone else as well. It's not like Conor Bradley's our right back. End of story. We need.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Steve is right in the sense of it's probably the out of all the three that were to sign a contract, it's probably the one that you can replace. But to your point, it's very difficult to replace. And we're talking about right backs. It's not just a right back with Trent, and you know it as well. You need a midfielder, and you probably need another creative winger as well, because that's a lot of creativity just gone.
100%.
And when you look at that team now, who's the passer? It's McAllister. McAllister is the cog. He's the one that can he's the one that can do it in the midfield, but they need more than McAllister. McAllister's not going to be able to play every game. There might be some games where teams have a plan for McAllister. Who's going to step up and be that creativity?
Yesterday, we said at the mob. You pointed it out to me, and I said I agree with you. Without McAllister and Trent, our build-up play we went very direct against Arsenal. We battered them in that first half, but it was very direct. It was transition football almost. And you're right, the build-up is lacking when there's no McAllister or Trent. The build-up play, and that has to be. This is down to the coach. This is why I'm going to trust the coach, because he has to build. He has to build up a body of work now without Trent, and how we build up from the back. And I'm excited and I'm intrigued.
There are quite a few super chats on that matter, so let me get them in now. Nabil early on, Saboon, one of your own who's helped win big things and moving abroad is tasteless. Joe says, if Saka went Madrid after winning us everything, I'd wish him well. Heck, I'd wish him well now. Sadiq said, Trent deserves the criticism. He planned his exit over 18 months ago to leave on a free. Coutinho at least signed a contract to get us money. Greedy. And Joe adds, Trent came in as an academy player for free and will leave on a free after creating history with Liverpool. He deserves to do what he wants.
I wonder who you support, Joe. Let us know, and I'll tell you about examples. And I guarantee you, I can give you 3 examples of whatever club you support. Whatever club you support, I can guarantee you, I can give you 3 players that you were probably pissed off, or your club's fan base was pissed off about. But let me know who you support.
Giovanni says he's gonna be booed at Real, so the fans were just giving him a heads up on what that will be like.
Oh yeah, by the way, we know what's coming out. They don't give a shit who they boo, right? We know what Real are about.
Of course.
Yeah.
White
flags will be out. White flags. White.
You
You
know,
know.
There's no such thing as you'll never walk alone over there.
No, run that.
You must at times.
You walk.
Banteng says, what do you think of him coming out with a decision video and the next day Madrid approaches to buy his contract out for 800k to take him to the Club World Cup?
But you lot don't want to talk about that. But because I'm a Liverpool fan, I follow every story and situation. So that's why.
I'd do it. I'd set the 800k. Ta-ra.
No, but Steve, but do you get what I mean? There's more frustration and anger now because that happened, Steve. The day it was like Madrid won him for the World Club Cup, yeah. So he's come out with it now.
Yeah.
His plan was to not do it until the parade because sneak away. That was his ultimate plan. But Madrid won him for the World Club Cup.
How much you want? How much you want?
1 million, I reckon. Couple of million.
My camera's acting up again. I'll sort it in a sec, but let me just finish off these.
So it's gonna say in history, Trent to Real Madrid for 1 million.
Isn't it?
How
It's like
much?
the-
Yeah,
it's like
I'll
PSG lost.
That'll be the
PSG
parade
lost
party
for free.
party bus parade.
yeah. PSG did lose Mbappe for free. It's
Lost
true.
many a player have gone to Real Madrid on a free transfer.
They're looking at listen, Salah and Van Dijk. I don't know, man. They would have been deadly. Forget Trent. Imagine Salah and Van Dijk leaving.
You did imagine it for a couple of weeks.
I mean, there's pros and cons to all of it, though. I think Trent is someone that you can sustain, more years than Salah and Van Dijk. I don't think the notion that it's easier to replace Trent is true, if I'm honest with you, because of the landscape of football in general. Someone here, a member actually, I'll get it in a sec, but his question is kind of relevant to the point. Where is it? Actually. Was it a member chat or was it a super
You want to
chat?
read this one out? Because this one's quite a dick.
Yeah, I'll read this one from Hakeem. Said, Liverpool fans believe in Santa Claus. Grow up. It's a disgusting cult, and this past month has shown it. Some of the undertones are nasty as well.
What are you referring to, Hakeem? What the fuck you talking about? Because I reckon not many people know what the fuck you're on about. But thank you for the $4.99.
Robert,
fucking, and he then tells everyone else to grow up. Fucking believing in cults. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Robert says, Liverpool fans stood by Trent every time all of you called him out for his defending. He decided he didn't want that support anymore. Yeah,
Is
but
that Robert?
No.
But Robert, you defended him because you were winning stuff. If his defending was costing you rather than his attacking prowess aiding you, you wouldn't have defended him the way you defended him. So that kind of goes for the support. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's not really relevant in my opinion. He also took the piss out of the fans with his celebration while he received nothing but backing and love, even amidst all this. Why can't fans react?
What was that about, do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, I mean, looking back now, it's hard to make
Tell
out.
me. What was it about? Tell me.
I'm not sure. I would love for him to.
Come on. Enzo did this. Remember Enzo Benfica?
Yeah, it would be nice if.
Yeah, but that's different. Yeah, but he didn't do that. He went like that to the away crowd.
Yeah, it would be
Like,
nice if.
How can you compare that to someone kissing their badge?
No, what I'm saying
My
is
paper talk, maybe.
celebrations. Don't look into celebration. What I'm saying, like, it don't really mean anything. The players are in that moment. They're just doing anything. I'm staying and whatever.
All right, stick to that principle. All right, stick to that rule then.
Yeah, it's
No,
true.
stick
Though.
to it.
Listen, brother Grizz,
Yeah.
Lukaku kissed our badge and then went on Sky Italia and said, "I want to be back into Milan."
And that's why he's cussed and hated. And that's why, right?
However,
It's
we
dismissed.
paid 100 million for 6 months. and you paid no money for 6 years.
Zero money. Yeah.
Lukaku is a mercenary. Trent is
Yes.
a one kid through the ranks, through the academy. Everything's everything. 2 years
At
ago,
least you got something from Trent.
man.
You know what I mean? At least you got something from Trent for many years. You got good service.
I'm not comparing him to Lukaku.
Yeah, I didn't get shit.
You know what I've noticed is this Trent thing has become like a toxic relationship. Like it's like
No, with
like
me,
that.
it's people that
Like,
want
you
to
know what I
talk
mean?
about it, and I don't want to talk about it. But it's
No,
people
but I'm
like
just saying
you,
though, like
people like you.
I'm glad it's moving over. When he becomes, maybe we'll come back to this when he's actually a Liverpool player, and then all the emotions will run back again, and they'll be like, oh, look at him. They might even do hate watches on
I
him.
don't think he's welcome back at Liverpool. I'll be honest. From judging the way that this is all gone, it doesn't sound like he's welcome
the
back
next
at
game.
Liverpool.
So I can't wait for that next game. The Liverpool Real Madrid game is going to be mad. If they meet in the Champions League next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that will be mad. Let me get the next one in. This one here from Triple O. Mate, every player's agent is in contact with other clubs. That's their job. Liverpool fans are acting like teenagers. He is going to Madrid, not United. Ronnie says 20 years of loyal service, and this is how you treat him. He's not a slave to Liverpool. The fans should be grateful they had him this long. Disgrace. Adar says, why? Oh, when people run down a contract and don't re-sign despite multiple attempts, it's forcing a move, and usually that is booed. Side note, with De Bruyne, this was it. It wasn't a member chat. With De Bruyne and Trent leaving, this is the one where I mentioned, you know, trying to replace Trent. You man, try to answer this. With De Bruyne and Trent leaving, who's the best passer now in the Premier League?
Well, this is a brilliant super chat, by the way.
It's a very good question.
One of the first super chats of the night. Big up Adash.
I think Rodri's up there. Tielemans, McAllister.
Tielemans, yeah, McAllister.
But you see where we're going. Like it's just the drop off is very
Enzo Fernandez is there as well. I would say.
Oh well, yeah, we're done then.
No, but he is.
What?
Enzo
So what?
Fernandez
You didn't want to start at Tielemans, no Turkish,
Tielemans
as one of the best passers. Like now.
Oh no,
He's one
I
of
was
the
done
best.
from the beginning. I'll trust me. I was done from that's why I said that. It's I mean all these
No,
names.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Tobes, but I'm saying like his reaction. You should have started there.
Palmer, Bruno, one of these.
Could have really started with. Listen, I mean, none of them are close to Trent or De Bruyne in terms of cutting through lines.
Tonali's up there. I put Tonali in there. I like Tonali.
No.
Nah, compared to he's a decent passer. In fact, Bruno Guimaraes is up there. I'd have him more than
Tonali.
Bruno Guimaraes.
I think Alexis.
But you can put centre-backs in there as well.
Alexis McAllister the best.
People are saying that.
Wharton is a shout as well. Wharton's a very good passer.
Well, we're starving basically. That's what we're.
Morton, yeah.
You're right. We're losing.
Yeah, but you're talking elite levels. Trent and KDB, in terms of passing and with technique, are elite. I'd say.
We should have some elite though in the Prem, no?
When you look,
but like Turkish says, that's where we like the dearth of talent.
It's a great point though, because when you look at it now, we actually had a plethora of like, I would say elite passers, right? That have just gone.
So extend that to Europe then. So extend that to Europe. Who are we talking? Where are we looking? The Barca players. The Barca players.
Yamal's a fantastic
Yamal, De Jong.
That's what I'm saying. The Barca players.
Vitinha's a very good passer.
Barella. There's loads, man.
Barella's a good passer.
Football's finished, bro. Look how I'm in after 3 players.
There's loads. The brothers do there's loads, and then they keep recycling the same names.
Kimmich is a very good passer, but you're right though, Turkish. Like we've got very good passers, quality passers, but elite passers, we're losing recipes, man.
The numbers that you've just said, you could name more from the Spanish national team in 2010 alone.
Yes, sir.
Alone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, forget the Spanish national. I know people have their critiques and stuff, but like look at midfielders like Fernandinho for Man City. Fernandinho was a better passer than Hellerman in the Premier League right now. Hellerman, and then Paul Pogba. I know man don't want to talk about Paul Pogba was an exquisite passer. Like
Michael Carrick was unbelievable. There's loads of passer.
We're losing recipes.
Yeah, people didn't say Fabio Ruiz. I thought Fabio Ruiz has been quality this campaign as well.
But when we talk Trent and I mean De Bruyne levels of passing, again, none of the names, they all pale in comparison to what we're talking about here. But that is the state of football. KK says the people adored him, one of our own. He was meant to be the captain, yet he engineered his way out, signing Madrid shirts last year as a vice. He does not deserve the fairy tale ending. The people are hurt.
Oh yeah, by the way, he was signing Real Madrid shirts last summer.
Joe says Arsenal Grizz, and before you start, Cesc wanted to go Barca as he's answering your question.
Yeah.
And he said before you start, Cesc wanted to go Barca.
I mean, have a bit of Arsenal fans above anyone else probably on this panel. Have some self-awareness. The amount of toxicity, the amount of abuse, the amount of booing, the amount of protest you've done for legends of your club. I'm talking the greatest manager in your probably life, because you come across as a young guy from that profile picture. The man who changed your whole club and fortunes and sections of your fan base, just like sections of Liverpool fan base. Not everyone was booing him. 25% were booing him. Sections of your fan base hounded out your manager, banners, aeroplanes, and you're telling other fan bases how to react and how to deal with legends and players or coaches of the club. Have a bit of self-awareness, man. There's so many other examples I'll give that you guys booed. Like, I don't think there's hardly any.
They got panned for that though. They did get panned for that. They did.
I can't lie though. He overstayed his welcome though.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to say to lecture others.
Oh,
okay. That's what I'm saying. You can. I'm not saying don't get panned or get panned for it. I'm saying the nerve. Did you remember his original super chat? It was very, very, very disingenuous. But I'm saying have a bit of self-awareness. Look at the history of your clubs and fan bases and dealing with legends and players or ex-players. Think about it.
I do think every situation is different, though. That's the thing.
I hear it, but until you know that person, until you've walked in that person's shoes, you don't know.
Yeah, it's what Wenger said as well. There was a lot of
Wenger was lying to fans by the end of his.
He was lying. He was
from when you start lying. Yeah, that's when.
Trent.
No, you lot are assuming.
No. Trent was offered, and it's come out. He told Arnie Slot in April that I'm leaving. So before April, he was saying, yeah, we'll deal with it. When in his head, he knew what he was dealing with.
Did he really say we'll deal with it?
Yeah. Where did you get I can't lie to you. It doesn't even sound like. This is big business, Grizz. Man knows. I know, right? If a player goes,
that's like saying, how do you know Wenger lied?
Because he said it out of his mouth. I watched.
He said it though. He said a lot of things.
Said what? Give me an example.
Okay, I'll give you one example. I'll give you a perfect example. When Klopp arrived at Liverpool, he came out and backed Liverpool fans and the protest about the £70 away tickets, right? He was asked at a press conference, do you agree? And Jurgen Klopp in his first few months said, of course I agree. In Germany, the prices are much less than this. Like, football is mad what's going on, right? They asked Wenger the day after in his press conference, because we had the highest ticket prices. And Wenger said, because of the football on show. That is a lie and a slap in the face to the fans. We were finishing 4th, 5th, 6th. And you're telling me we're highest in Europe. That's a lie.
But that's a lie to you lot. That you perceive that as a lie.
No. It's a lie, Grizz. Come on, Grizz. Come on.
But you perceive it as a lie. He's saying his perception. He's defending the club which he's a employee of.
But Grizz, Arnie Slot is working with Trent day in, day out. Do you truly believe that he was blindsided by Trent until April? Because if that's the case, that's just insane. If I'm working with an individual every single day, their contract is running out. I'm not blindsided to the fact that they're leaving. I'm assuming they're leaving, and if they stay, it's a shock. You guys have assumed he's staying, and you're surprised that he's leaving.
No.
If someone's not signing a contract and they're down to 1 year left, you should assume they're leaving.
I haven't said that. Said that. I'm saying there has been naivety. 100%. Did you hear me? I said there's been naivety from the Liverpool side. Absolutely, I agree with you. There has been naivety, but they've also been played. That's what I'm saying.
I think when a player goes into his last 2 years, I think that's naivety. If you let a player of that ilk go into his last year with the hope that he said April, then it's stupidity. I think that
100% is stupidity. But there was a lot of, and I keep telling you, there was a lot of disturbances behind the scenes. We didn't have a football director. We sacked our main man went. Jurgen Klopp. So there was uncertainty. No sporting director, no effing coach. New man come in. Of course, the big boys, Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent, were going to say, "Oh, whoa, what's going on here? We don't know who's the sporting director. We don't know what direction. We don't know who you're going to bring in as a coach. We need to know what's going on here."
So can I ask you why?
So Virgil and Mo assessed all that situation. Said, "Yes, there's the place to be."
No,
Trent,
you guys are blaming him for 2 years ago. Why is Salah and Van Dijk allowed to be uncertain?
But this is what I'm saying.
They signed, but Trent's not.
I'll tell you why. Because it's the last contract of their careers. For Trent, it's not Matisse. It's very simple. Very simple. It's the final contract for Salah and Virgil of their careers. That decision is totally different. Trent's got his whole career ahead of him. This is a life-changing.
No, it's not. He's in the peak of his career, and he's basically got one maybe big move. Come on, he's 26, 27, isn't he?
26.
How old is he?
The next 4 or 5 years you sign.
Hold on. I don't know what Saeed said there. What are you disagreeing with?
I'm just letting you know that like Trent also is a big move for him and his career.
I never said that. I said it's Salah and Virgil's last big move of their career, last contract.
Yeah, and equally for Trent, it's a big decision.
It's not. No, of course it is. But I'm saying it's not his last deal.
It really is. Like, I get it. Listen,
when is he going to go to Madrid? Tell me.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying. You're understanding. Matisse's question to me was, why are they allowed to take it down to the wire and he's not? I think that was his question.
Yeah.
I got 3 more here and then we'll move on. Pepe says, I think the reaction is understandable, to be honest, not the booze. I was pissed as fuck when Mount left and he left for 55 mil.
Man said I was pissed when Mount left. You got 60 million quid with a year left. You're static.
I'm not gonna lie, that's your business. Man, we got 55 million. That brother ain't even done shit since.
That is one of the biggest robberies in Premier League history.
Replaced him with Palmer. Hey,
we can negotiate back, man. We can negotiate back. You know, you wanna.
That's crazy. Man didn't say Rudiger. He didn't say any of the players. He said Mount.
Yeah, Rudiger's the one. I can't believe that one. I can't believe that one. That's
our fault. That's our fault.
Yeah, that was mad.
One there, bro. I swear down.
It's our own fault.
Let's do this one from Hakeem. All this greedy talk regarding Trent is nasty and how his brother and entourage played the club. Be honest, if Trent signed a contract, Liverpool wouldn't sell him, so I'm not buying the fee talk. And Zakar says, imagine your vice captain engineered a move away and you guys want fans not to boo. He could negotiate an exit move with the club like Suarez and Coutinho. And TH14 said, loyalty overrated. He tears his ACL. They're looking to transfer him or cancel contract cheap. They never would have let him leave for a free. Look out for number one. Oh, look out for number one, sorry. Yeah, with you, but I'm never with loyalties overrated. I'll be honest with you. That whole notion of modern day fans, especially, loyalty is never overrated, never. And I think until you have a player that remains loyal, you win stuff. And you know, I think majority of us have had it here. They tend to be at the higher end of you know, remembrance and lists when you look back at players that have. You know, for me, for example, like Tony Adams is up there with Thierry Henry. If we're talking technical ability and all of that stuff, it's a joke, right? But Tony Adams, loyal to the core. Dennis Bergkamp's probably another one who didn't come from the academy. Loyalty is definitely not overrated, but it's something lost in football now, in my opinion.
Where's Van Persie?
You're cheeky. You see, this is when you talk and then I bring up a certain name and then you get angry. Like, it's just
I'm not getting that. I wouldn't get angry. He's not loyal. Man's not loyal. He's
loyal. Josh says if Trent was going out the door and £100 million was coming the other way, I can bet it would cut out at least 90% of the uproar.
It wouldn't happen though, because Real Madrid wouldn't pay 90 million for Trent. Or 100.
Yeah. Steve, obviously you was a bit late, so let me just update you. This is how the table's looking, by the way. You're actually in with a shout to get back in it.
Woo! Yeah, I'm ready for it, man. Sergio Aguero moment.
3 points away, 2 game weeks left, 2 points separating GRIZZ and Matisse. It's all up for grabs. It's all
mad.
Let me get this one in from Suj. Need Matisse to get off the bottom of the table. Sorry, brother GRIZZ. A forfeit in South Africa sounds elite. Herd feeding lions is available.
Brother, Sturridge, you're a top guy, man. Like, yeah,
That would be crazy, but yeah.
I love you, but what the fuck, man?
Let me just put a poll in the chat, yeah? I just want to know who the people would prefer finish last. Is it GRIZZ to do another forfeit, or is it Matisse? I just want to see. Because if I can engineer it, then even better.
What the fuck are you talking about, engineer? You got engineer degree?
Nah, my cousin does though. I'll call it. Gotta give the people what they want. But the polls in the chat now. Ellison just in time. If Trent signed, he would not have been able to go Madrid, as Real would have moved away from buying players for big money. Or they have moved away. Real want to wait for Saliba. Same thing with Lenny Yoro. Stop bringing Lenny Yoro's name into this.
Apart from the obvious ones, who else do we think? Who else do we think Real Madrid are targeting in the next, let's say, 4 to 5 years? Guys?
Saliba.
No, apart from Saliba.
They need a passer and they need a centre back.
A what?
They need a passer, a centre back, and in my opinion, they need a right winger.
No, but who do we think in the world of football are they targeting next in terms of that free? Like,
They're gonna be looking at Saka in a couple of years. 100%. They're gonna.
I think they might have gone past Saka, you know.
I think so.
Why?
As well, you know,
Why do you think they've?
I don't know. I think he's not going to go. Arsenal. I can't lie. I think Saka's a Arsenal boy through.
That's what they said about Trent a couple of years ago, and now look.
Trent.
Trent's brothers got involved, and
Trent's brothers got involved, and there's
Saka's a bit more.
He's hailing through and through, man.
Trent's single. He's best friends with Bellingham. Listen, that one's been on the line for a while. We've been looking at that deal for a while, man. We've been cooking that up for a while.
Trent's not the star man at Liverpool.
McAllister's a good one. I think they're targeting
Enzo Fernandez. It will be Enzo Fernandez over McAllister.
I don't know.
Anyone at United? Would they go for him?
Why are you frowning for? Okay,
because it's going to cost them more money. What do you mean? You bought him for 108 million. They're not splashing 100 million on Enzo. You're not selling for 80 million, are you?
They did say Rodri.
I'm not gonna lie. If Real Madrid came in for Enzo, I'd be actually very wary of how Enzo might move, because the way he moved with Benfica, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that. If Real Madrid came knocking on our door and Enzo Fernandez heard the knock, aye.
Oh, he's gone.
Someone put this in the comments, and you know what? They should actually be all over it. So I've just seen this now. Someone said Ahmad. You know what? They should go for Ahmad.
That's not Real though.
What? Say that again. Ahmad. Who's Ahmad?
Real, but they're signing Brahim Diaz. They're signing.
Who's these new players, by the way? I'm hearing Osimhen. Now we're hearing Ahmad. Who's Ahmad?
Ahmad. Sorry.
Yeah, Ahmad. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
His name.
And he tells me, man.
Regardless, he's nowhere near Real, man. So let's.
Calm down with that.
Yo, relax. Are you mad?
He's a baller still.
He could cook up there. You
Bro,
mad?
no.
He's silly for signing that contract.
It doesn't have to be Premier League. No, but we're just thinking Premier League. In the world of football, who do we think Real Madrid could
maybe
be?
Elise in a couple of years' time. Maybe Elise in a couple of years' time.
I like that shout.
Yeah, he's a baller.
What about Phil Foden, man? Phil Foden?
Don't joke with that one. You know what? All jokes aside with Foden, they don't actually like his position. They don't need anyone in that position. They need
they got Goulet.
Not quality thing. It's just they need on deeper.
They'd have the same England problem if they brought him in anyway. So
true. Yeah, it's true.
Getting them all in. But yeah, look, a couple sales coming from Rodrigo is the one we mentioned earlier. I'm still looking at Goulet potentially. Maybe Brahim Diaz might be available. There's going to be a couple big sales from Real this summer. Couple quality, additions for any club who gets them. And there ain't quality additions around the world at this moment in time. Joe says Romero. I think
it's mad, isn't it? About a season and a half or a couple of seasons ago, we would have said Sancho. 100% we would have said Sancho.
What, Real?
Yeah,
no way.
No.
What's a couple? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, you know what I mean. From Dortmund days.
Maybe Dortmund times.
Days,
That's what I mean. We would have said Sancho, the next wonder kid. Look at the fall off.
Okay.
Look at the fall off.
Back in the days when I used to say Sancho was better than Hudson. Remember, Matisse?
Yeah. What the fuck were we arguing about, man?
I saw something real nasty about Sancho today. Yeah.
A few years ago, it would have been Pogba. Do you get what I'm saying? That direction.
Yeah. Matisse, did you see the stat that's going around with Sancho?
0% on crosses.
0% on crosses.
Swear.
What's that?
Steve's just
that?
shaking his head.
I don't even know how you do that.
Slated when he signed for United, and I said he want all that. And they all ripped
How's
me
that
apart.
even possible?
Yeah.
When I saw that, I swear, I thought I had to click on the account. I thought the account was trolling. You know them fake accounts.
It said he's got 0% cross success rate in the
I
Prem.
thought I was gonna see like parody.
No.
That can't be normal. That's not normal.
They're not gonna pay the money now, so they're
that
gonna pay
can't be
5
real.
million. So we have to sell him now.
That can't be
So-
real.
That can't be right, man.
It can't be. It can't be right. It can't.
That
be.
means he hasn't
Tell
got.
you what,
a
he probably
How's that
gets in United's
It
team.
depends on what the
Yeah.
stat. I don't know. Like it's
With that kind of stats, he's a United player all day.
Saeed, who better, Sancho or Garnacho?
bro. Come on, man. Let's not do this. Like,
Answer the
Sancho-
question.
I'm interested.
I still have Sancho over Garnacho, 100%.
Okay, cool. I was just checking that.
Come on, man. Like
I don't think I would.
I don't think it's a come on, man. Though.
I don't think I would.
Listen, if you have Garnacho in your team, then innit, and you can.
No. I don't want either. But I'm saying I don't think it's a come on, man. Like, I
Steve
think-
Steve said he's taking Garnacho.
Listen, get me Cunha, get me Embuemos. That's where we need to talk.
Where are you
Might not
getting
be
this
there
money
for
from?
Garnacho, but at least you know that every game he's fucking dangerous. He is dangerous. That's Sancho. He's what is it? 1 in 10 does something.
But have you seen Sancho?
I'm
Have you seen
taking Garnacho all day
Sancho's
long.
misses? Have you not seen Garnacho's collection of misses? Like it's actually scarily bad. Like,
Yeah, but Sancho doesn't even get in that position to miss.
Position.
I know, but I think Sancho, when he's in front of goal, though, it is better. You know what I mean in that regards. But nah, Garnacho's shit, man. Need to sell him.
Two super chats have
How
come
have we
in
got
from-
to this situation here? How have we gone from like talking about Trent and like good players to now like Garnacho versus Sancho?
That's because we started going to some like someone said Enzo to Real and we lost track.
Hey,
from
you know
there,
what?
bro.
Enzo, Barella, all of these, and then what's going on?
Barella.
Yeah, Barella's a bad boy.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Barella. Madrid.
And Pritesh says, it's good that Barca are rising again. Real have only been able to pull off this free shit since Barca became broke. They will need to spend.
Good
I
point.
don't know. Adar says all Madrid players now or to be have a swagger. Saka is top, but he ain't got the swagger. Them players have a certain ego and arrogance about them. Kanate and Saliba next.
Bro, if they get Kanate and Saliba as their centre backs with Trent right back, who's their left back?
This Mendy and he's fit in it.
No, but they're gonna look for who's the next superstar left back, probably. I don't know.
They were talking about Theo Hernandez potentially.
Lewis Skelly.
Luis Skelly. Oi, Madrid.
No, I was really
easy, man. The
Theo
guy's
Hernandez.
18, bro. Huh?
You
Theo
need to be
Hernandez,
careful. What someone might come down and snatch young Lewis Skelly, you know,
You don't worry over there, man.
because you're doing all this bragging. And I'm like, okay.
Can you
no
imagine?
problem.
Can you imagine if Real Madrid got Rodri?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but do you remember, Steve, at the beginning
That'd
of
be
this
mega.
season? Yeah, the whole there was an article that said Real's primary target will either be Saliba, Rodri, and there was one more player. So that injury probably curtailed it a little bit.
But isn't he a Atletico man, Steve? He wouldn't go Real.
Yeah, I think City's going to tie him up to one of them Haaland deals.
He's
Big
an
deal.
Atletico man. He wouldn't go to Real. I don't.
He's not Atletico, man. He's he went
Bro,
Villarreal. They signed him from Villarreal.
Yeah.
So
Oh, is
he
it?
only played 1 year at Atletico, or 2 years, 1 or 2 years.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so really, he's got no loyalty over there.
No loyalty there.
And the whole Ballon d'Or, Vinny Jr., the way Real Madrid acted, this, that, and the other, as if Rodri didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I think that plays in our hands.
No chance. Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I forgot about that. There was a sour taste from that. Raji says, if you could guarantee one current player in your squad commits their entire career to your club, who would you choose? I would go Saka.
Haaland.
Still Haaland.
Yeah. Listen, don't forget, people are looking at Haaland like he's some bum. He's still fucking. How many goals has he got? He's not even trying. When that clicks, the treble season clicks, and then he's had a bad one. Pep will be thinking in his head. Plus, he signed a 10-year. How to fix this Haaland problem? It'll all be about Haaland next season. Everyone will be built around him. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
And then it's the end. It's the end again. Like you're crying the first season. We can't control him. We can't stop him. What do we do? That's going to happen again.
Yeah. I don't see the. Yeah, I think the Haaland shout is perfectly logical. We spent the first.
Strikers, exactly.
Yeah, we spent the first half an hour to 40 minutes of the call talking
Who
about
you keeping?
strikers who can't back. Me, you know the answer already.
Madison.
I'm joking. Yeah, yes, Madison is a contender, but if I'm being honest, it would be Bergville. That's who I'd say I want to commit
Yeah.
his entire career to the club.
Shout.
Okay.
Still Palmer for me.
Palmer. Oh yeah, obviously SAEED.
I've already Messi in it. Diallo.
No way.
You
Yeah, of
lost,
course.
obviously.
Who else would
Mad.
it be?
Bro, what do you mean no way? Are you all right?
So
He's
they have.
played like 4 games for you, and you want to commit to your whole club like, for the rest of his career, man. After 4 appearances, mad.
Get out of here, man.
Who would yours be, Grizz? Trent or?
We've got us. We've got us.
Oh, yeah,
The Salah and Virgil, innit? Like I don't. After that, I don't business anyone. No more loyalty in this game, bro.
You should have said Trent.
McAllister.
Cool. This one came in earlier, Steve, from Tite, saying after Saturday, I don't think we'll win the FA Cup, and I believe we will end up out of the top 5. Pep's first 11 decisions needs to be questioned. Obviously, the top 5 talks I think's a bit loose at the moment. But Steve, you did mention FA Cup Crystal Palace when we was on the mob and said it's going to be a tricky one.
So the last few weeks, we beat Bournemouth away in the cup. We've gone and beat Aston Villa, Everton. You know, got all these results over the line. Everyone's like, yeah, sound. Because we've come up against Southampton, who were just about to be on the verge of the worst ever Premier League team in history, which is literally their cup final. If they can get a point, they're not the worst in history. They dug deep and we couldn't get through. And now everyone's having now we're going to lose the FA Cup to Palace and slip out the top 5. People need to relax, man. It's one of them games. We've seen it before in title races when you've gone to these grounds and we can't get through. You change the team. It's mad. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to get the Champions League. And then the Palace is the cup finals, a cup final. I'm never going to disrespect anyone in a cup final. I've seen it with Wigan. You know what I mean? I've seen them. You know, we lost against Man United when people were saying, oh, City will just turn up. So Palace have got a great chance. City's got a great chance. I'm actually looking forward to it. Been at an event tonight, the FA Cup event. And yeah, man, it's quite good. But City will be fine. Like I said before, people were saying, oh, 200 million in Jan, you can't beat Southampton. We'll flip it the other side of the coin. 200 million in Jan has got us to 3rd, 4th in the Prem and an FA Cup final. Because before that 200 million in Jan, we were sliding down fucking hell faster than Bonnie Blue's kecks. So it was, it wasn't happening. So,
This guy's mental. This guy's mental.
It was, though, wasn't it? Everyone was coming and having a go. So it needed addressing. So we got some of the money out of the bank, what we've earned. People say they don't earn money, but what we won and with the prize money, and we spent it. So, yeah, man. There's a lot worse teams in this league and positions than us, let's put it that way.
Steve, let this guy know where he can potentially link up and buy you a drink.
I'll be in the Torch pub on Saturday, mate. City's got the Torch. I'll be in there from 12. I don't drink alcohol, but you can get me a pint of
Super Malt.
Get him a Super Malt. Get him a
Super Malt. Get him a Super Malt. He loves it. US citizen. He loves Super Malt.
Give him a bag full.
You know, did anyone watch that clip of the mob when Matisse is telling me about where the final at in Poland is sensational? somebody has put it in the chat and timestamped it. And I watched it back before, and I didn't even know I did it.
That was too good.
His face is so fucking funny.
Everyone just died, man. That was funny as anything.
The timing was perfect.
That was quality. Oh my days.
Talking about quality, here's Jazzy Jeff. He says, I have tickets to the Europa League final, and I want to take my son, bottom mid, and share a Eubank Junior senior moment. We can both enjoy seeing armpits. I DM'd you. Hashtag I'll check it out.
Shut up, man. Shut your bitch ass up, man. I'm so sick of him every week. Shut up.
Wait, fight him. Charity match. Come on, Jazzy.
I don't want to fight him. He just needs to shut his mouth, man. Every week, do my fucking head.
I want to take my son.
That one is
your son. How dare you, bro?
I'm telling you, Jazzy Jeff knows somebody. I'm telling you, bro. The way he talks is too. Yeah. Adar says Saka and Skelly aside, but I think if Ranieri somehow ends up at Madrid, he could totally wreak havoc. He's got that bit about him, especially alongside Alonso.
I don't know if we've got time to chat on that, man, but we did ask you in the mob about this Ranieri stuff, man. Like, you just don't. What's going on there, man, with Ranieri? And how long will that last?
Streets are saying that he's struggling physically. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah, a lot of my Arsenal friends who actually watch Arsenal intently, they're saying that like he's lacking a little bit on the physical end, and that's why he's not getting the amount of games.
Yeah, but
he's not even getting minutes. He's not even getting minutes.
He's not even getting minutes now.
He's not even getting minutes, bro. You're trying to tell me he can't come in and do a little 10 minutes then?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I think he should be playing more games. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Are the Arsenal fans that told you that common in making excuses? Because 100%, you can blow open that excuse by asking is Odegaard physically capable right now of what he's doing? I don't. There's an element of it across the midfield anyway, aside from obviously Declan Rice in the 8, but anyone else behind Odegaard there isn't. So I don't know. For me, it's I've heard a rumor he was late to training once, but that rumor doesn't justify back-to-back just being on the bench in games that mean nothing. And let's say, Tob, if the physical aspect is true and I'm being too pessimistic, then what better games to give him than meaningless Premier League games in between Champions League fixtures? Meaningless. It's not often you have meaningless Premier League games, and we've had an abundance of them in the last 2 months, and you've chosen not to play him. So I don't care whichever way people are looking at it. The manager has to, take the hit on that, because
agree.
It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying he was the answer, though. I'm not saying Ranieri comes in and we beat PSG, or, he kicks on and, doesn't look back. But there was an opportunity there. But, yeah, it is what it is. All right, cool. That was the last one. Manny saying funny people telling Liverpool fans how to feel. I don't think on this show we're telling you how to feel, or Liverpool fans. I think we're just giving our own assessments of the situation and our own opinions. Essentially, everyone's free to feel how they want and portray that feeling however they want. It is what it is. All right, cool. I mean, aside from that, we ain't talked about Arsenal. There's nothing to talk about. United, I mean, you got better days to come. Tottenham, same. City, we've touched in on it. Is there anything else that just one more thing?
I know we've been here for long, but it would be remiss of me if we didn't spend a good 5 minutes just slating Amarin and
I wanna. The thing about that is we're gonna have plenty of time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. What I want to say is, I don't think, and again, looking at the reaction, nothing to do with Big Six, but I don't think the view of what Marinakis did, I'm aligned with it. That's an owner that wants to win, and everyone's assuming that he was getting onto Nuno or something. Nuno's reaction didn't look like someone was getting onto him. It looked like someone was frustrated and he was just venting out his frustration to him. But I know the world has run away with it, saying, "Oh, it's disgraceful." Gary Neville's tweeted, "Disgraceful. Oh, you can't do that." That's an owner that wants to win.
There's a time and a place, though. I think there's a time and a place.
Yeah,
I agree.
He should have gone on the pitch.
100%. You shouldn't.
And it's like, oh, I'm going to show I'm this and I'm that. I mean, you get away with that in Greece. They probably Olympiacos fans would probably love all that shit. But in England, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? Even in England, if your chairman used to go in the dressing room, it was frowned upon. Like, fucking hell, he's interfering. You know what I mean? So, but Gary Neville was like, oh, he should resign and all that. Listen, he might have had a difference of opinion. We've seen these owners. Remember the Leeds owner, that Salino guy, the Italian guy. He was mental. Yeah, he used to do mad shit. The guy at Cardiff, he used to do mad shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. He can't overshadow what a great season Nottingham Forest have had. They've qualified for Europe first time in 29 years. Yeah, it should have been the Champions League. Yeah, he's probably thought in his head as an owner, I'm going to get big dough for the Champions League, and it's fell off. But it's not the end of the world. It's an owner and a manager having a little bit of an opinion. It is what it is, isn't it?
And even his post-match comments as well, right? Like, he made it clear he was frustrated because obviously Awani got injured, and obviously they're playing with 10 men pretty much for the rest of the game, and obviously they need to win that game of football. So of course he's frustrated. I have no qualms with him being frustrated by that, and it shows his intent on them finishing the season strongly, but he shouldn't be going on a football pitch. He shouldn't be. Not at that moment. He shouldn't be going. He basically made it all about himself and not the team for no reason.
I don't think the intention was to make it about himself though, and I think it's only, you know, I think it's the, you know, at the end of the day he pays all of their fucking wages. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, he can, and this is assuming he didn't go on and just, you know, bollock Nuno. I don't think he done that. I think he went on, vented his vex. You know, that was a big opportunity. I don't think it was as bad as people have made out, to be honest. But Steve's right. The culture is different. You do that in Europe. I mean, I think in Turkey, someone came on the pitch with a gun, one of the owners. So it's a different kind of kettle of fish. But cool. Joe says, would you take Rodrigo over? I mean, you know, definitely over Nico Williams. For me, Kvaratskhelia and then Rodrigo are the two clear in terms of left wingers, and we haven't seen Rodrigo left wing like that. But I just know that's his natural position. Tierno says, SAEED, there's always context behind everything, but bottom line, it's a business of wins and losses. You lose enough, you're out. Can we replace Amorim?
Yeah, Amorim can be replaced. I mean, the record speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's crazy the amount of losses he's got. So he can be replaced. You know,
if Eric Ten Hag stays at United, you're not finishing 16th.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but it's still equally a bad season, though, the way his trajectory was.
It's fact, he's not finishing. They sacked a manager that has won a couple of trophies, which everyone's getting gassed about winning another trophy, but he did not finish in 16th under Ten Hag. You know,
mainly because that was his team, and he assembled that team by spending that much money. So he's.
But Amorim's brought in as a young coach. And everyone was telling us about the style of football, etc. I get it. He probably hasn't got the players to play the style he wants 100%. But 16th, and the way it's going at home, Man United at home, and when he's coming out, what alarmed me when he said about the players aren't afraid to lose and all that, to me signals that he's not got that dressing room at all. No. They're not running through brick walls for him. In Europe, they're sensing a relief from the Premier League. They're going out in Europe, they're winning games, and they're having a journey in Europe. But when it comes to day-to-day Premier League, they're getting beat off very, very bad sides at home, very bad sides. And I think that he needs a big overhaul to get his men in at Old Trafford. And I don't think if United get the Champions League, you got a chance because the money, they might. If United don't win that Europa and get Champions League, there's big problems there. Yeah, there's big problems there. Because you can't come out like that Jim Ratcliffe saying, we're going to build this super stadium. People ain't stupid. The fans are not stupid. The people, normal people know that you can't be sacking dinner ladies and staff, then try and throw us this, we're going to build this stadium. Then where's the money going to come from? You've got to have a decent team. You've got to attract the punters. It just doesn't ring right with me. And I think the first thing Man United need to do is forget the fucking stadium. Yeah, forget that. Because your stadium's, it's not the best, but the team is the most important. Manchester United team standards have got to be brought up before you think about a stadium and buying shirts and fans. You went down this road with Ronaldo. Let's get Ronaldo in and all that. And everyone started buying the merch and all that. It didn't work. They have to get the Man United levels back up. And whether Amorim comes out and says, we haven't got any money, we're going to play some kids and we're going to get back up slowly and build it from the bottom, I think the United fans will probably get behind that and say, you know what, we're building again. They've been honest with us. But that Jim Ratcliffe, I've never seen a situation like it where he owns a certain percentage of the club, but apparently he's in control. He's never in control. He's a fucking puppet master. They're in control at the back. He's just a scapegoat. When it goes wrong, you're in football control. You take it on the chin. We're sat in Florida reaping the rewards. But it's bad. That West Ham team are bad. 16th, we were sat in the studio looking at the table, and fucking hell, it's bad. I've never thought I'd see that ever in my lifetime, to see Man United down there ever.
It's a beautiful sight. It's a beautiful sight, but equally seeing them in a European final is a disgusting sight. But we move. What can we do? All right. That's it, people. Apologies, my camera's been off for a little while. My camera's acting up. I haven't been able to fix it, but we're at the end of the show anyway. Thursday we are back. So make sure you're here for that one. Preview the next game week 37, only 2 to go. And obviously all that's on the line is top 4, top 5. and obviously the prediction table stuff. So make sure you're here Thursday, last mob of the season on Friday night. Chelsea versus Man United. We'll have SAEED in the building alongside Matisse for that one. So obviously we'll send off the people that have supported the mob all season off welcome Friday night. Yeah, that's it for the super chats. That's it for the comments. That's it for the topics. We move people back on Thursday, mob on Friday. And you know what to do, people. Like, subscribe, individual channels, do all of that good stuff. And we'll see you again real soon. Peace.